Dave Bowman, Bonner County. Man, I'm following some pretty awesome public speakers this morning. They're tough acts to follow, but you two, Amit and Bradshaw, never, never fail to give good material to work with, way more than I can address in 3 minutes. First of all, Luke, if it weren't for double standards, you would have no standard at all. I mean, it is utterly, it blows my mind. You are nothing but one double standard after another. When today was the first time I've ever heard Ms. Messer speak publicly without you snidely asking if she's speaking as a private citizen or as a member of the sheriff's staff. This is the first time ever. Every time in the past you have done that. But when someone like Matt Linscott gets up there, he's not technically an employee, but he's been on the planning commission and the zoning commission.
Mr. Bowman, I'm going to caution you that.
Oh, yeah, I don't need to be cautioned. Just let me speak.
Mr. Bowman,
When he
you have
when
been
he gets
warned now
don't
that-
shut me down, Luke. You shut me down last week and you again violated my First Amendment rights and my Article 1 under Idaho Constitution rights.
Not a business
do it.
meeting, but go ahead.
Don't talk over me.
Well, at
Please
least he's letting
You
you
have
speak.
never once asked
Please
Mr.
credit-
Linscott
please
whether or
credit
not he's
back.
speaking
There will
in
be
his
no credit.
We
Official
need to
time.
credit
capacity
back
or
the
not.
time. Look, you guys
Why are we all
filing
talking at
lawsuits
once here?
from this particular individual. You started speaking after you read that we're not supposed to interact. You're not clarifying it, so you don't get to draw his time down. We're not going to risk more tax money because you're intruding on his comment. Please
That is
put
the
back
double
the time
standard.
technology, because we're not going to add this on another thing that we did wrong and as this board. We're not. So put it back to 2 minutes was when there was a discourse with the board. Please don't interrupt him.
Okay.
I don't
so
want
just-
more
just Let me
lawsuits.
get
It's
ahead
time.
because they're not gonna, these two that you could read about in Solzhenitsyn and Orwell are not gonna give me the time back because the only way they can even attempt to look good is by silencing reasonable opposition, because that's the kind of tyrants they are. Now, I'm gonna ask for an agenda item next week. I would like Bill Wilson to be put on the agenda to speak as to whether Commissioner Williams is or is not a member of this community and has the right, because she does have the right, but our tyrants up there want to keep her from speaking because she truly represents the people. And that needs to be spoken to in a public meeting. You guys call on Bill Wilson all the time. But now all of a sudden, when it's something that you know isn't going to go your way, you want to do it in writing. And there is another double standard. And Luke, one more thing, I'm going to challenge you. Do you think you could get through one without virtue signaling? Because that's all you got going for you and everybody sees it. And that's all I got.
I was going to give you 30 more seconds, but you want to keep going, Dave?
Yeah, I'll
this
keep
week's
going.
Okay, you got 30
Yeah.
seconds. Go ahead. Please continue.
This county is divided, and you have your camp that is very much against Sheriff Wheeler and Asia Williams. And you have the other camp, your camp, that is with yourself and for big development and more government. And it is absolutely clear how this meeting runs. You decide that you don't want to have, you're not allowing dialogue, but then you jump in and have dialogue every time. And you did it to me. You've done it to like 3 other people before you, because your goal is to silence. That's because you have nothing going. You are an empty shell. Next year, let's see Dmitry Borisov and Brian Domke sitting in those 2 seats.
Thank you for your comments, Mr. Bowman. And it is 10:42.